The process. During the early phases of writing this section, I came across a story about a dog and an elephant who both got pregnant around the same time. Fast forward 18 months and the dog has given birth 3 times to a dozen puppies while the elephant had still not given birth from its initial pregnancy. The dog questioned whether or not the elephant was truly pregnant. The elephant's response is what struck me. She says, "What I'm growing is not what you're growing. Therefore, my timing is not your timing." This hit me for 2 reasons. First, the elephant knew herself. And second, she trusted her process. Conception and birth are not on the same day for a reason. It takes time for a baby to develop in the mother's womb, and it takes time for the mother's body to adjust to be able to provide and sustain the baby's life once it is birthed. Part of that adjustment process may include morning sickness, exhaustion, discomfort, and pain. It makes it easier, read more tolerable, because the mother knows that at the end of the gestation period, a baby will be born. The problem with patience is that we cannot always see what is being produced or how we are developing, and we do not know how long our gestation period is. This is exacerbated by what we see on social media from people whose timing is not our own. In the summer of 2012, my high school friends and I rallied at my buddy Drew's family cabin for a few days of camping and quality time together. We were 3 years removed from high school, yet we still enjoyed spending time together when we could. My buddy Drew loved soccer and had played his entire life. It was time for the Soccer World Cup, and we watched many matches in between hiking and enjoying nature. I view life like a World Cup soccer match. There are teams that are expert passers and have practice sets they implement to score a goal. To the inexperienced onlooker, the passes may seem ill-advised, boring, or in the wrong direction. Admittedly, this used to be me as a child and a teenager. I'd watch for 20 minutes and nothing would be happening. Then, bored, I would walk into the kitchen for a snack. Suddenly I would hear, "Goal!" coming from the TV and would sprint back just in time to see the replay. As I grew older and began to understand the way the game is played, I learned to appreciate the seemingly mundane moments and anticipate how the passes would connect for the goal to be scored. I began to realize not every pass will be forward. Not every pass can be forward, but the goal remains the same. Some games there are 5 goals. Some games there are 0 goals. Some games there's a winner and a loser. In other games, the teams end up tied. I have come to conclude soccer is a sport that requires resilience, patience, and consistent focused action. We will leave the exaggerated falls alone for this metaphor. Soccer players do not stop playing because the match may end with 0 points. They do not stop playing because 90 minutes is too long. There are times when they are sprinting, there are times when they are jogging, and there are times when they are walking. The professionals understand they must be actively engaged from the first minute through stoppage time. And while they push themselves to exhaustion, they understand that to be truly effective, they must be intentional about when and how they use their energy, lest they need to be substituted before halftime. While my experience playing soccer is limited to elementary school recess, backyard sessions, and collegiate intramurals, I've grown to love soccer because I see so many life lessons in it. Patience is not sitting on the sidelines, watching the match be played or watching the marathon be run. Patience is knowing yourself and understanding that you cannot cover 26.2 miles in 1 second, but if you put one foot in front of the other consistently, you can reach the goal of completing a marathon. Patience is more than this. Patience is preparing for the marathon by running shorter distances of 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles in the months leading up to the actual event in order to build the strength and endurance you need to complete the marathon. Process reveals potential, and the process prepares you to pursue your purpose. The process takes patience. Living with enduring urgency is living with and building your active patience.